right, welcome back. This is Business Today. Now, insect farming for animal feeds is gaining traction among livestock farmers as animal feed prices continue to skyrocket. The black soldier fly is one among insects that has been researched on and has been approved as a protein substitute that is viable for poultry, fish, and even pigs. Susan Joki joins us with more on black soldier fly.
Hello and welcome to Farm Trends, and as always, this is where I get to bring you stories on concepts and innovations which have been developed to counter various challenges affecting the different agricultural value chains. And today we are coming to you from ICIPE, that is International Center for Insect Physiology and Ecology, where we will be learning more about the rearing and breeding of the black soldier fly.
But before we dive into black soldier fly, let's get a general overview on insect farming.
Here, under the Insects for Food, Feed and Other Uses program, we are promoting the rearing of more than 10 insect species for the production of food, feed, and other value-added products like the insect-composted organic fertilizer, insect oils, and insect-based pharmaceutical products.
It's a small insect with big impact. It is widely advocated globally as an alternative source of protein. And this is because of the massive shortage of protein material required for animal feed production. And so a lot of farmers have actually fallen out of production, or companies like feed millers or food processors stopping production because of this protein source. And the major protein source is actually accounts for 70% of the total cost of production. We are very critical of black soldier fly because of the multiple advantages that it has. For example, it has very high feed conversion ratio. That means you can grow it on organic waste to produce high quality protein. And also, they have very short developmental cycle. And also, the female produces a lot number of eggs. Between 500 to 900 eggs. Then also it's not a pest, and also it doesn't bite, it doesn't stink, and so you rarely find it within human habitation, and therefore it's not a vector of disease carrier, and that makes it a very, very important insect for mass production. And also not being a pest, when you wherever you rear it, even if it happens to escape, it doesn't cause any harm to the environment or to the crop that farmers are producing. It is more sustainable in the sense that it is an insect you can use it to recycle organic waste. Like now we have a lot of pollution in the environment because of massive dumping of waste in various sites. Like in Africa, we produce close to 125 million tons of organic waste. This is waste that can be transformed using the insects to produce high quality protein, fast fertilizer, that can be used in animal feed or helping to improve our soil fertility and also increase crop yield into the country, given that the issue of the Ukraine war has actually caused a lot of hike in the price of fertilizer. And so if we can recycle our own organic waste using insects, black soldier fly has the advantage that it shortens the decomposing time. You use about 5 weeks to produce stable and mature fertilizer for use. But conventional method use up to 28 weeks, which is much more longer compared to using insects. So the first thing you do is, if it's in the wild, you have the adult flies. They are very poor flyers, and therefore most of the time it's difficult to see them. But with the trapping method that ICIPE has designed, you can place waste substrate outside for quite some time, and later on you find that they are going to come to lay their eggs. Most of the time, we normally train farmers to know that they can use different materials for egg collection. So you can have the wooden design where you have the different wood structure put together and held with a rubber band. and that allows the adult fly to lay eggs here. But one of the easiest way we try to train farmers is to use electrical conduit. And this electrical conduit are simply just placed inside the cage where you have the adult flies, and the flies will all lay eggs on the conduit. And so all the farmer needs is to remove it from the cage onto the substrate. And within 2-3 days, all the eggs will hatch, and then the young ones or the neonate will then move down to the substrate. And once you put them on the organic waste, it takes between 9 to 12 days to be ready. So they have 6 different developmental stages. Around the feed instar stage, when the chitin levels are very low and the protein levels are quite high, then you can harvest them. So this is called the feed instar stages, which is has maximal amount of protein. So when you harvest this, you can dry it, and then you can use it for feed formulation. So you can formulate feed for chicken, for pigs, for fish. And one other very critical aspect of the insect is that you can also extract oil. So once they leave the larval stage, they move to the pre-pupa stage, they stop feeding. So at this stage, they are moving, but they stop feeding. And after some time, they move to the pupa stage, where they stop moving completely. And then from the pupa stage, they now transform now to the adult fly. You could use plastic rectangular containers, or you could have plastic containers that can hold waste for smallholder farmers who cannot afford to buy expensive containers. So once you have that and you have your waste stream, all you do is just to place the waste on it and get the insect. But one very important thing is that the insect also can be fed directly to chicken or to fish or to pigs without having to go through the extensive process of production and feed formulation. So one interesting part of this technology, as I said, it requires less amount of space. So you find that in a small screen house like this, which is about 10 to 20 meters, you can produce between 3 to 5 tons of this insect on monthly basis. Also, one very critical thing about the use of insects as alternative source is for us to be able to reduce competition between humans and animals. We are able to adopt just 5 to 50% of insect inclusion in animal-based feed. We should be able to remove fish, soya beans. That will be able to feed close to 4.8 million people per year. That's in Kenya alone.
This has been a learning process for us also. Research has gone through this process right from the beginning. We research and come up with new innovations which we share with beneficiaries and also with private sector, and the sector is actually growing. So just to indicate, before 2015 there is no black soldier fly produced in Kenya which goes into the feed sector or which is recycling organic waste. Currently, there are good number of private sector partners who are engaged in producing black soldier flies, and we are looking forward to scale this up further from cities down to rural spaces also, to see how best this can contribute to job creation and organic waste recycling opportunities in Kenya.